UK weather. Somerset levels flooding. Overall, the UK weather is not that extreme. However, in this section, we will look at an example of an extreme weather event in Somerset and management strategies that were used to reduce the risk and impact from it. From December 2013 to February 2014, Somerset experienced 3 times the average amount of rainfall for those months. A huge amount of rain fell on an already saturated ground, and it coincided with high tides and storm surges. This caused extensive flooding of the levels, an area of low-lying land crisscrossed by rivers. Human activities also played a part in this, as the rivers had not been cleared of sediment or dredged regularly for 20 years, which had reduced their capacity. The social impacts of this flood were that more than 600 homes were flooded, and many people were forced to evacuate. Villages such as Muchelney were cut off by road, and the only way in or out was by boat. Major transport links, including the A361, and some train lines were closed or disrupted, and insurance prices increased. This resulted in some residents not being able to insure their homes against future flooding. The economic impacts of the flood included the total cost of the damage adding up to over £80 million. Local companies lost more than £1.2 million in business, and the loss of tourism cost the county £200 million. The environmental impacts included 11,500 hectares of land were flooded, including farmland, which destroyed many crops. Standing water made the ground toxic and unproductive for well over a year, and the loss of nutrients and damage to the soil structure decreased the long-term fertility of the land. Tons of mud and debris were left by the floods, which damaged the vegetation. Before the flood, individuals and organizations took action to limit its impact. Warning systems gave people time to prepare. The Met Office warned people to find emergency accommodation in case they had to leave their homes. Individuals and the local authorities gathered to place sandbags and floodboards to try and limit the flood damage to homes. Since the flood, the government has set up the Somerset Levels and Moors Flood Action Plan, a 20-year plan whose aim is to limit the risk of future flooding. £100 million will be spent on turning temporary pumping stations into permanent ones, to ensure there is regular dredging of the rivers Parrett and Tone. The money will be spent on building a tidal barrage at Bridgewater and widening the River Sowe's channel and King Sedgemoor Drain. It is important to know the causes, impacts, and how it is being managed to minimise risks to weather disruptions.